Twilight Princess is a massive fan favorite of the Zelda series, and for good reason. Engaging story, interesting characters, not to mention the best side character of the series, lots of dungeons, fantastic music, and original gaming concepts. What's not to love? Well, every game does have its issues, even flat-out flaws. But even though flying around in Skyward Sword wasn't too much fun, the game itself is still beloved by many. Although the Wind Waker can garner some annoyance through its escort missions, it's still a lasting favorite. Heck, the graphics of Ocarina of Time are noticeably old, and yet there's just nothing quite like it. I know I still adore it. All this said, no matter how much I hear fans praise it, no matter how many times I restart the game thinking things will be different, I never even make it to the second dungeon and probably never will. I just don't like Twilight Princess. Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice, and yes, I'm well aware of the pot I just stirred with that last statement, and the thumbnail, and probably the title of the video too. Rest assured, this is not a hit piece on a beloved game, not a rant of any sort. Think of it more so as an unpopular opinion video, because at the end of the day, that's all it is, my opinion that happens to be very unpopular. No harm, no foul, right? Except my compliments towards this game that I laid out at the top of the video suggest that my feelings towards Twilight Princess aren't all that negative. And that's true. You know what? A summation. Twilight Princess is a fantastic game, I just don't personally enjoy actively playing through it. There, I can end the video here and now, go on and click through to the next one. But I will continue because I truly wonder if others feel the same as me. Even if not about Twilight Princess, but another entry in the series. It feels like a weird phenomenon, honestly. Recognizing the objective truth that the game is well made, but subjectively, Not even that, but rather that I'd like to watch it be played, not do it myself. Why is that? How did this start? Twilight Princess was the last Zelda game to be released before I sort of fell off the wagon, if you will. The thing is, I grew up with Zelda, starting with Ocarina of Time, then Link's Awakening, Majora's Mask, and The Wind Waker. It was more of a passive playing experience seeing as I was 3 when Ocarina of Time was released. So I enjoyed the games vicariously through my 2 older brothers. I've actually found that in the Zelda tuber sphere, many have had a similar introduction to the series. You dabble in playing here and there, but of course you need the massive assistance of the experienced older sibling or siblings to do almost anything. Nevertheless, I had no issue only riding Epona, slashing a super easy enemy here and there, and jamming out on the ocarina. My gaming skills were better developed through the early worlds of Banjo-Kazooie as well as Mario Kart 64 and the first 5 Mario parties. So concerning Zelda, as long as I got to bask in that mellifluous music, be riveted by the story progression, and have my little jump scares in the background while my brothers fought enemies and bosses, I was content. However, as I grew older, my brothers began not really being that interested in Nintendo and veered more towards PlayStation and Xbox games, thus limiting my exposure since everything I knew about games was from them. Not to mention the friendships I was developing at this time were with those who weren't really interested in video games. This led to me only keeping up with Animal Crossing. So naturally, without the exposure to new Nintendo games and the lack of friend circles who enjoy that kind of pastime, Zelda kind of just became a childhood memory. A beloved one, but a memory nonetheless. Despite even getting a Wii for my 11th birthday, I had no idea there was this larger world of Zelda right at my fingertips. I just used my Wii for games like Mario Kart Wii, still one of my favorites, Animal Crossing City Folk, and Wii Sports, and cheating on Wii Fit. Fast forward to the end of my sophomore year at college. By this point, I had developed new friendships with people who really enjoyed Nintendo, and were very surprised that I knew video games, specifically Zelda. Except they were all discussing Zelda games I had never heard of. Minish Cap? Skyward Sword? What on earth had I missed? Turns out, a ton. So I started my summer by looking up something one of my brothers had told me about, a Let's Play. I specifically chose, you guessed it, Twilight Princess. It was the last Zelda game I had seen any gameplay of from this one time visiting a cousin of mine, so I figured that was the best place to jump back in while at the same time replaying Ocarina of Time on our old N64. I loved Twilight Princess and for all the aforementioned reasons. So I bought it for my Wii, but it was right-handed motion control and I'm left-handed. So I resold it and never looked at it again. That is until a few years later where I finally bought the HD one for the Wii U, a system we bought to play Breath of the Wild. So I started playing. Then I stopped. Then after several months I tried again, and I got bored and confused. Then a couple more years later I tried to stream it, thinking that would be incentive to persevere. Nope, not at all. What gives? I know the common criticisms of Twilight Princess, and many might be thinking it's the tedious beginning that put me off, but I truly don't think it is. That might be part of it, but not the entirety. Because I can get through the first dungeon all the way through fighting King Bulblin for the first time, saving Colin, and even learning the sumo wrestling, but with little to no motivation to continue afterwards. For a brief moment, I wondered if it was because I already knew the story well, but I kind of doubt that considering I pretty well knew the story of Skyward Sword before playing it, and I got through that just fine.
I don't want to do it. I hate these. I don't like that. Oh, well. No! Fudge a freaking duck. No! No! I ran out of stamina. Go faster! Oh, praise God for that. I didn't know it did that. See, I'm literally... Come on! Oh my gosh.
No, I think there's just something about actively playing Twilight Princess myself that just does not mesh with me. This happens with a lot of games actually. If I spend more than a couple of hours in it and don't feel motivated, it's not happening. Take Hogwarts Legacy. I've spent several hours on it, and yeah, flying is fun. Kinda wish I could get my money back though. Palia? Great game, I'm sure, but just not doing it for me. And likewise with Twilight Princess. Something about the actual mechanics of playing doesn't feel right for me personally. I have no other way to explain it. So clearly, I don't hate Twilight Princess. In fact, as I have reiterated ad nauseum, I do think it's a great game, but not when I'm the one actively playing it. And I could have easily turned this into a huge rant about how it's the worst 3D Zelda game, blah blah blah, and while that might get me some views, and maybe some sympathy from the few who do actually hate the game for some reason, it's not fun. It's so easy to just trash a game to the high heavens, but why? Why would you trash a game so harshly, especially when you know so many people absolutely adore it? Not saying you're not allowed to throw a tantrum like a toddler, but why would you? Now, I totally get wanting to find like-minded people who also kind of go against the grain and don't really enjoy the game that everyone else seems to love. But does ranting truly make you feel better? And you know, maybe it does, and I can't speak for you, but you probably won't find me in those areas of the internet. I hope. All this to say, that's why I didn't approach this subject with hate. Because I don't hate it. In fact, I really enjoy watching other people play it. I love watching lore videos about it. But I'll just never play it myself. And I think that's okay. Side note, I can totally understand having some confusion right now if you know my harsh comments towards the 3DS remakes of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. However, those are not toward the games themselves, but towards the really, really, really bad changes, like the graphics and the bosses in Majora's Mask. I don't know what they were thinking. It's just terrible. Other than the boot equipping, I will give it that. And now I shall casually sweep that and Triforce Heroes under the rug. You heard nothing. No hypocrisy here, but honestly, you're never gonna catch me calling someone a fake Zelda fan for liking those games. Maybe just a confused one. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope Twilight Princess fans didn't feel offended by anything I had to say, because I'm sure there's a Zelda game you really don't enjoy that I absolutely love, and that's just how it works, because it's called subjectivity. People have their opinions, and that's okay. It's not like this is an issue of morality. There's no right or wrong. If you did enjoy this video, it'd be super helpful if you gave it a thumbs up, maybe consider checking out some of my other content. I talk about Zelda, Animal Crossing, Hunger Games, and I also live stream a couple days a week, usually Friday morning and Sunday evening, and those are community streams that you can join. Usually Mario Kart and, what's the other game? Jackbox Party. Which, for people who don't know, all you need is your phone to play Jackbox Party, so it's not like you have to have that game in order to join. And of course, if you do feel so inclined, I would love it if you considered joining the geekdom by subscribing. And a massive thank you goes to all of my patrons who help keep this channel going and keep me going when I have certain periods of time where I don't really make videos. Y'all are just absolutely amazing. You're a great community. I love talking with you guys in Discord and seeing all the things you guys post. They're just a great group of people, y'all, and I especially want to thank those in the Hylian Knight tier, like Joking Batman, Geek Mom, Lorulian Sheep, and McToppler. Y'all are the best. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.